Hi, Miss Ashley. Hi, user with a big number. Hi. Peaceful Nick, the medium. So glad you guys are joining. I haven't been live in a really long time. I'm so excited. If you have any mediumship questions, get them in now before, I don't know, maybe a bunch of people will show up. Sometimes it's 10 people, sometimes it's 1,000 people. You never know. It's pretty early on the West Coast, which is where I am, and much later on the East Coast, so maybe we'll get some East Coast viewers. I am an evidential medium. I specialize in healing messages, and I haven't been on a live in a long time, a few months, because I had some health issues and I had to have a couple of surgeries. So I haven't been on a live, but I'm feeling much better, back to normal. And I'm very excited. Let me put this down a little. Yeah. So I'm very excited. I'm so excited. I know, Miss Ashley, I have not been on here in a long time. So click likes so more people can join. Time frame on the sale of my house. Okay. I don't do psychic predictions like that on here. Actually, my son's a realtor, and he's got in the Bay Area. Usually, like, the houses sell like in 5 minutes, and he's struggling selling a house that's a wonderful house. It's a beautiful house, and it's just a weird time in the market. Hi, Rumple Dump Gnome. Okay, you say bye. Scam artist. Okay, we're gonna get rid of you. Bye-bye. I don't know why people want to come on here. Dream job interview tomorrow. Any advice? Just from a personal person. I would say what I do when I go to job interviews is I research the company and the person that's interviewing me, and I try to find something to say that's going to impress them. Like, if you know that they love horseback riding, bring that up. Something to build a rapport with the person. And some interviews, you could be absolutely perfect, and there's no reason for you not to get hired. It's just meant to be that way. So I would say be yourself, be professional, be diplomatic, and do research on the company and the person interviewing you, and bring something up that they'll that you can build a rapport with them. All right, elicitations. I heard a song that I used to associate with my mom, who I never really, I guess, knew and has passed on. So that can be, yes, my bug bite video really does work. I swear by that. That can be your mom visiting you, even if you never met her. My song with my mom is You Are So Beautiful by Joe Cocker. When I was a baby, she used to hold me and like a toddler, and she used to sing that to me. And weirdly, I was having a rough week last year because I was having some health problems. And my students, because I'm a full-time science teacher, my students, and they didn't know this about me. They would have never known this. All of a sudden, 5 or 6 of them all started singing it in unison during a lab. So that was crazy. And it's on my playlist, and I've got probably 1,000 songs on my playlist, and it just so happens that every time that I need some comfort, that song pops on my playlist. So, yes. All right, you are welcome. Click likes. The people are going away. I don't know. Nobody likes them. Down to 7 people. Hello, not a beauty guru. Hi. Okay, so Miss Ashley, do you see a successful career for me? So I do mediumship where I connect you with loved ones. I don't really do career predictions. And I definitely never do soulmate stuff. Never, 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 never. I don't think that's a very ethical to do because people have freedom of choice, and I don't believe we only have one soulmate in a lifetime. And will you ever have children? I never predict that either, because it would be unethical of me to say, yes, but in 2 years you'll have twins. And then you're like ready and ready and you're waiting and waiting. And then you don't have the twins. And then you're disappointed. Like, I don't do love, nothing about soulmates, nothing about kids, nothing like that. I connect people with their lost loved ones. All right, something's happening. I don't know. They updated this live stuff since the last time I was on here. It's telling me to swipe. I don't know. Hi, I'm new. How are you? I'm great. Megs, cover singer. Hi. I love music. Do I have a waiting list? I don't right now because I blocked out from most of June all the way through until this Saturday. I blocked out because I had 2 surgeries. And so I haven't done any I did, I think, 2 or 3 readings in July right before my big. Let me know if you still have me. My husband always calls in the middle. All right, thanks for waiting. Let me know if you guys are still here. Okay, thank you. He's trying on new glasses, and so he wanted my opinion, so he was FaceTiming me. No, so right now I have probably a couple of readings available. I actually have a 50% off coupon if there's any readings for September available. 50% off coupon if you go to my website, which is right here, and my readings are normally $120, but I have 50% off. So $60 for 30 minutes. And you type in uterus in all caps, you'll get 50% off. And it's a little I didn't design the website, so I kind of don't like the way the coupon code is on there. It's a little tiny square that you kind of have to look for next to the payment that says coupon code. Type in uterus in all caps. Make sure you spell it correctly, because I had somebody say it's not working. I'm like, you got to spell it right. And then in October on the 1st, I have a small group reading. You have to email me for that because that's not on my website. You have peacefulnickthemedium@gmail.com, and it's only $25. So if you want to join a small gallery, it'll be probably an hour and a half, and I only let 6 or so people in, because if it's more than that, it's just me doing the readings. It just gets too much, and too many spirits are coming in. And then I don't do a good job for everybody. So I'm trying to keep those small. That's October 1st. I also have more beginners classes to teach mediumship in January. That's on my website, and an intermediate class. So if you're somebody who has had any training in mediumship and you want to continue, but you've lost touch with your teacher or you didn't connect well with your teacher, I'm starting an intermediate class, and I only have 2 spots left in that class because it's already filling up. And that's also on my website right here as well. I also sell gift cards. So you can click on the gift card on my website, and I know the holidays are coming up really fast and people are always looking for unique gifts, and everybody has so much stuff, like physical stuff. This is a really good gift to give to somebody who, has everything. All right. Hi, Manny Maven. Hi. Okay. Let me see. Oh, thank you. Not a beauty guru, and it's worth every penny. Mwah. Thank you so much. Yeah, some people on here I've given personal readings to before. All right. Yeah, the group reading is only $25. You have to email me for that because I don't put it on. I have not put it on my website yet. So peacefulnickthemedium@gmail.com. So what happened to me is I had some female problems, and I was not expecting what happened to happen. And I was going to the doctor, and I'll be 52 in December. So I'm the age where I should be going through menopause. And my children are grown. And so I went to the doctor, and she said, and I gotta laugh because it's funny. She was going to give me an IUD. And I'm like, no. No, I'm not getting an IUD. I'm way too old for that. And no. And my husband had a vasectomy 23 years ago. So there'll be no IUD for me. And so she did ultrasounds and a hysteroscopy and all kinds of tests. And she's like, girl, you need a hysterectomy. So I had a hysterectomy in July, middle of July. And so that's what happened. And the recovery wasn't that bad physically, but mentally and fatigue-wise, it was really bad. So I don't think I want to make my juju stronger. It's been getting more on its own. Yeah, that happens. So a lot of times when spirit wants to contact people, it's coming. There's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. That's what happened to me when I became a medium. It was like, click likes. There's only 5 people on here. I don't know what the problem is. Sometimes on Mondays I'll have 1,000 people. It's crazy. So I became a medium when I started getting really clear visual messages inside my head from people who had just passed. And it happened twice in a matter of a year. The first time I contacted the mother of the person who passed and said, oh my God, I got this message from your son, and she's given me permission to share this. And so has the other family for both these stories. And her son came to me the day he passed, and I hadn't seen him since he was a newborn baby, and he was 25 years old. And he came in my head and said, tell my mommy I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And I heard heroin overdose, and that's exactly what happened. And we didn't find that out for a few days. Then the next one was the grandmother of my son's girlfriend, and she kept showing me like this red. It was the day she passed. My son was with her, and my son and I both have this like psychic connection, and he was with her, and then I kept getting this vision in my head of a heart with her name on it, a red heart with her name, and I knew this woman, and we'd had many conversations. I wouldn't say we were best friends, but we had a connection. And she was very close with her granddaughter, who's my son's girlfriend. And I kept seeing this red heart with her name. And it was driving me crazy because it wouldn't go away. And I wasn't a trained medium. I didn't know what was going on. And I called my son, and he immediately sent me a text message picture. Right after this lady passed, he was at her house when it happened, and he opened up a drawer, and right inside the drawer was the red heart with her name on it. It was her keychain that he had picked up right before I started having the visions. So that was so crazy. And I was like, oh no, I've got to find out what's going on and get some training. And so then I searched the internet and found a teacher that I really, really liked and connected with. Because some teachers charge a lot of thousands and thousands of dollars, and they'll just send you a videotape. And, well, now I guess it's digital. And it's like, that's not personal. I don't believe in that. But anyway, so October 1st is a small group reading. Intermediate classes, if you've had training and you wanted, and you didn't, lost touch with your teacher, or didn't like them or whatever. November, that starts. Beginners start in January. That one, I'm just finishing up a beginner's class right now. Gift cards, all of that. All right, so That's a lot on a woman. That's from Spaghetti Squash Lover. Yeah, it's really, it's a lot. But I had a pretty good family support system. Why do they let me see them but not talk to me? That is because you have to develop that clair. So you, Manny Maven, probably have the clairvoyance, which is clair vision. Clear vision is what it means. Yeah, I have a website right here. You can email me through there or just add at gmail.com. That's my email. Same as my website, just at gmail.com. You have to develop your clair audience, which is clear hearing. And sometimes you'll see words typed up over your head. I was doing a reading for someone when I just started doing readings, and I saw the words in white font, all lowercase, congestive heart failure, just go right across my head. And I said, did your dad die from congestive heart failure? And he was like, yes. And I was like, whoa, that was crazy. So yeah, you have the knowing. That's claircognizance. That's probably my strongest clair. Yes, I speak to the deceased. Hello, Ladybug. I do speak to the deceased, and I'm actually a trained scientist and never in a million years thought I would be a medium. It just wasn't on my radar. I've been working in science, outreach, and education for decades, and I have a master's degree in astronomy and physics and a biology bachelor's degree, and I was very shocked when I started getting messages from the deceased. But yes, you can book a reading on my website. The September readings, if there's any left, have a coupon code uterus for 50% off. Yeah, so Manny Maven, you just have to develop your clair audience, because the more clairs you develop as a medium, the better your readings will be when you do them. Because if you are limited to one or two clairs, you're not going to get as much evidence, because not all, and that also happens when people say, I went to a medium and it was a terrible reading, they didn't get any information. Some mediums don't have all their clairs developed. They start doing readings before they develop their clairs, and then they can't do a good reading because Spirit A might be communicating clairaudiently, and you, medium A, are only getting clairvoyant messages. Well, if you have a clairaudient spirit communicating with a clairvoyant medium, you're not going to get the message very clearly. So you have to develop that. And my claircognizance, which is what the clear knowing, I had that all my life and didn't know. I thought everybody, I guess it kind of sounds stupid now. I thought everybody knew things before they happened. I just assumed if I know things before they happen, everybody else does. It just was so natural to me. So I didn't find out till I got trained as a medium that that's not the truth. That's funny. Tony Nelson, my husband is very tall, and I always say I'm a medium. He always says he's a large. Ladybug, I met someone and knew nothing about them, and I said, you're a tattoo artist. Yep, that's claircognizance. Yep. Even if we're large, we're still beautiful. We are still beautiful. Yep, Jennifer Jones, I have dreams of things before they actually happen. Yep. That is, it's like extrasensory perception. Oh, I'm sorry, Tony. That is a rough... Just know that your son, and this is for anyone who experiences someone who unalives themselves, they are suffering. There are many reasons people come to this life and suffer and can't seem to acclimate to the human life. And they cannot... So we define it as mental illness, but for whatever reason, their soul and their human can't reconcile what's happening in their human life. Often these are people who experience some type of abuse, and their loved ones may not even know that they suffered some kind of abuse. Trauma is so common. Like, so many people experience trauma, and so many people experience trauma that they don't know is trauma. So I just want you to know, yeah, right, he was not cut out for this world. And that's exactly what happens. I'm so glad you said that, because sometimes your soul that picks the life it's going in and has this plan, it doesn't work the way the plan, because other people in the world interact with you and can cause harm in some way and can just cause things to just go south. And some people don't develop the tools in order to deal with it. And so know that your son is at peace. There is no punishment for that. None. I don't care what anybody says. Ever, 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 ever. I don't care what type of religion says that causes you to go burn in fire and brimstone in hell. No, I don't believe that. That is not, I have never experienced anything negative when I've spoken to the spirit world or connected with spirit. Your son is at peace, and he is safe, and he is relieved of the fact that his life and his soul here didn't work out. So he is at peace. You are very welcome. Miss Ashley, I'm not feeling anything right now, but this is my first live in a long time. But if something comes through, I will tell you. I don't want to force a message, because that would be wrong of me to do, and I don't want to hurt you. So Tasha Diffie, I'm going to make another TikTok about this, because I had somebody ask me a similar question on a video I posted earlier today. People who don't come through or rarely come through after they pass. This has happened to me personally. I had a very close loved one who he's been past 6 years, and I've dreamt about him like for a split second once or twice. He's come through in a reading for my husband, but some spirits just are very private and keep to themselves. But the biggest reason that I have found, and because I know that person, David was his name, he's my brother-in-law. I know that person, I knew his human personality, and that's how he was, very private and quiet. But most of the time, it's because they want to allow you time to heal. So they pull back their energy. And I actually have a client who I've given readings for, and that's who that video earlier today was about, her husband that passed. I've done readings for her, and he is extremely strong, like one of the strongest spirits I've ever connected with. And he was coming through to her. He was sending messages to her phone, and I know that may be hard to believe, but she sent me screenshots of them from his phone, and he had been passed for a while. And he was very strong when he came through, incredibly strong, and he suddenly stopped coming through for her. And then she asked the question, and so I answered it on a TikTok. They don't want you to become dependent upon them for healing. So they pull back their energy to allow you to go through the mourning process. And that's often what it is. Oh, a bunch of stuff came through. Give me a sec. Why have your friends been avoiding you, Tony? Because you're in pain? Oh, yeah, they don't know what to say. You're welcome, Miss Ashley. Yes, Christina Bowstring. Her sister passed from a bad car accident. Yes, so spirits are always okay. It's the humans that have the hard time. Spirits you know, some people say they get stuck, they don't know they're dead. I mean, I don't believe spirits get stuck because I know spirits are energy and they can come and go as they please. If they're stuck here, it's because they want to be here visiting. But honestly, spirits are made of quantum energy and it can be in multiple places at one time. So I don't believe that any spirit gets stuck. When they pass, they can choose to go immediately to the spirit world, but they can come back and forth anytime they want because spirit's not one thing. It's kind of got a lot of parts that can come and go from one main oversoul. So she is okay and she is at peace. Tony Nelson, great question. What are your thoughts on dowsing rods to communicate with the deceased? Well, as a scientist and as a medium, I've seen dowsing rods. I used to live in a small town in Missouri, and I've seen dowsing rods used to find water and successfully find water. So I believe there's something to the metal and the magnetic field of where the water is for that. And I've seen people do videos where they're using dowsing rods to like do yes or no questions. And I can't say that I believe that they're not moving their hands. I would have to see like a scientific experiment where the dowsing rods are stationary, connected to something on a counter or something where nobody's physical hands are touching it, because your energy will be projected to the dowsing rods if you're right there next to them. You don't have to be touching them. I would like to see a scientific experiment where the dowsing rods are connected to the counter in their little holders and see if they move. Because if it's the case that the spirits are really making them move, then they should move whether they have their hand on it or they're just right close to it. That's what I think. I want to see more evidence. Handmade. I am so sorry for your loss. I know that pain well. My mother passed when I was 15 years old suddenly. And yes, every spirit makes it to the spirit world just fine. Like I said earlier, no one is stuck. Was she... I don't know if it's your mom or somebody else on here. I feel like my chest hurts and it's hard to breathe. Was that your mom? Like I feel like suddenly really heavy on my chest. So let me know if that's your mom. Let me see if she answers. Yes. Oh. Thank you, handmade. COPD. Yeah, I feel very heavy here. Sorry. And now she looks like, I don't know if this is significant to her and you, or if this is just her showing me how she made it. She's showing me a flurry of butterflies flying away. Oh, my whole chest hurts. Let me ask her to pull it back. Sometimes they come through so powerfully. I actually am surprised anybody came through because I wasn't prepared to really do readings because I haven't been on live in so long. So let me know if you think the butterflies fluttering away is something, a symbol for you, or if it really meant something to you. I'm just checking to see if she answers. Okay. That's why the monarch butterflies were a sign from your dad. Okay. So I would say that's her showing me. She fluttered away to be with your dad. And I feel like there's some questions about paperwork. There's some, and I know it was very new. Something going on with paperwork. Like somebody's disagreeing about the paperwork, something that has to be done. Let me know if that resonates. Just know she's safe. She's at peace. She's actually relieved that she doesn't have that heavy chest pain. She came in real strong. See, that's another Claire, physical feelings. And, you know, some people have to develop these clairs over time, and some people take years to develop them, and some people are really natural and they just come right through. You are welcome. Let me know if you... Thank you. I appreciate, Handmaid, that you were still on here answering my question, validating what I was feeling. Okay. She came in really strong, and I'm not kidding. I wasn't expecting to do any readings tonight. I was just trying to get back into the swing of doing a live because it's been so long. Know that you are loved. And she's probably showing me the paperwork just so you know she's there with you. That's because that's really quick to go do paperwork, actually, in a day. All right, you are welcome. I'm just scrolling back up a little to see who I can connect with. I don't know if this is for you, Manny Maven, or if you're still here. I'm seeing a lady with really, I know this is kind of silly and probably very common, really tightly curled, lighter colored hair, like close to her head. Let me know if that's your grandma. Thank you guys thank you, Len Martinez. I try to, and I wasn't making a lot of videos for a while. I was putting out some repeats because, I was having the surgery and everything. Grandma Betty. Okay. I just feel like Grandma Betty. Did she have kind of I'll say a strong personality where she spoke her mind? I'm just going to see if she answers. And while I wait for that, ML, to certain people. Yeah, she seems real like quick, like she's going to say something. She's going to say what's on her mind. Oh, she's very loving though. And very loving. It's funny. All right, so I lost one of the twins 3 years ago. How do I connect with him? I would love to know. Or see a sign. So anybody can connect with their loved ones. You have to practice. You don't need a medium to connect. There are some people who say you never need a medium. You can learn to connect on your own. And that's true. You can learn to connect on your own. That's perfectly fine. And people do it all the time. But there's a line between connecting on your own and making something up in your head. And you have to practice and you have to understand what's really spirit and what's my mind. And you have to get evidence that can be validated. So let's say you're talking to a loved one and like, for example, from my brother-in-law, I may ask him, you know, some question, whatever it is. If I hear the answer I want to hear, I know I'm making that up in my head, because he would always tell me the answer I didn't want to hear. So you have to determine, is this me or is this spirit? And that's why some people choose to go to a medium to get an official reading. Because a medium can help you validate. A medium should give you evidence that's specific. So if you're doing a one-on-one reading with a medium, you should get specific evidence that applies to you and your loved one, or to your loved one and someone else you know that you can go ask. And that's actually the best kind of evidence. When you say, your loved one is telling me they have a gold chain in the top drawer of their dresser, and you say, oh, I've never been to their house before. And then you call up their loved one that lived with them and say, hey, check the top drawer of the dresser. There's a gold chain in there. That's evidence of a third party, where there's no way you knew it, so you couldn't have told me. I couldn't have Googled that. And now you know, oh, this is valid evidence. This isn't something like common that somebody else would have or know. So you can learn how to connect, and you can ask them for a sign. That's the other part of your question. Ask for a specific sign. It may not be in 5 minutes. It may not be in real life. So, for instance, I've told this story so many times. I asked my spirit guide for a snow globe a few years ago in March. Snow globes aren't that common when it's not Christmas time, right? I went to the golf shop. My husband loves to go to golf shops. We went in there. It's March. There's a snow globe right in front of me, a golf snow globe. Then I go home and I open social media. There's 2 ads in a row with snow globes on them. Though you can see it in person, you can see it on TV, you can see it on social media, on your computer. You can hear it in a conversation. You can hear it on the radio. The spirit world uses every way to get a message to you. So ask for a sign that's specific, but not too specific. I always say, don't ask for pennies and dimes, because they're too common. I don't believe that is a good sign, because you can find that anywhere. And I also don't ask for a pirate ship to pull up to the front of my house. So something like a snow globe or a dove or a cardinal, or, something medium. You talked on the phone every day. I'm going through a lot and could use a phone call with Grandma. Okay, so Manny Maven. When you lay down for a nap or go to bed, I'm not sure if I'm assuming you probably have a busy life with lots of stuff going on all the time. Take some deep breaths, close your eyes, and just say, Grandma Betty, whatever you called her in normal life. Call out to her. And I'll tell you, they're there instantly. It's like an antenna. You send out the signal and they're right there. The spirit world is enmeshed with us. It's not way out in space somewhere. It's right here enmeshed with us. We just can't see it normally. And just ask her questions and see what you hear. Normally, if your mind is cleared and you're calm and you don't have kids knocking on the door or a dog barking or whatever, or sirens outside the window, make sure it's quiet and calm. Maybe take a bath and then ask the questions you want the answers to. Normally, if you're uninterrupted and it's quiet and you're calm, maybe you have some candles burning, maybe you have some solfeggio music in the background, something calming that will relax you. Normally, the first thing you hear or see is from the person you're asking the question. Now, if you're distracted, and it might not work very well. Kristen Brown, your loved one is okay. All loved ones who pass are okay. And trust me, as somebody who was a science educator and communicator for many years, before I became a medium, I thought it was all in my head too, till I got training and started doing readings and getting the evidence validated over and over and over again. So yeah, it's probably, if it's consistent, it's real. Oh, a whole bunch of stuff. Hello, CHD Nuke. Do we have a reading this weekend? Is that you? I feel like it is. Oh, don't tell me if you have a reading coming up. Don't tell me. I've been seeing triples. This is Jenny B on the clock over and over. It could be from a loved one. If that was significant to that you and that loved one, they could be angel numbers, or just like a wink. Like I see 1111 every day. I just take that as a wink from the spirit world. Clip Stick Queen. I think that's what that says. Who gave me all the dragonflies? Ask. Who's the first person you thought of when you saw the dragonflies? Did a specific person pop in your head? Okay, I thought we did, so don't tell me anything, okay? CHD Nuke. I love that name. Okay, hold on. 44 a lot. Okay, me too. Yeah. Numbers are big because they're so common in our life now. We're always looking at our cell phone, our, Apple watches, whatever. We're always, or whatever kind of watch. It doesn't matter what kind of watch it is. We're always looking at technology, so we see numbers, digital numbers more often. So it's, oh, hi, Ashley Nicole. I feel like we've talked before. It's much more common to see the triple digits because, technology is so common in our life. When I was a kid, we had the clock with the hand on it, and you weren't noticing the numbers. Hello, Mrs. Maldonado. My dad, Ashley Nicole. My dad's been gone 8 years. Is he proud of me? Of course he's proud of you. Even, this is big for fathers and daughters in that relationship. We always want to know that our father is proud of us and other people, of course, but specifically fathers to daughters. And when you're in spirit, you realize, and this is for everybody, you realize, oh, this life, all these material things and college degrees and fancy houses and cars and expensive things really are meaningless. They mean nothing in the spirit world. Absolutely nothing. So even, let's say you live in a one-bedroom apartment. I don't know your story at all, okay? Let's pretend you live in a one-bedroom apartment and you work a job that is, this could be for anybody, that is something that maybe society doesn't deem as successful, but you work hard and you go to work and you pay your bills and take care of your responsibilities. Of course, the people who love you from spirit know that you're doing the right thing for you and your family in that time. Just because someone doesn't own a mansion and a fancy car doesn't mean that their loved ones aren't proud of them. The only thing the spirit world worries about is our emotional and spiritual growth. They don't care how many fancy things or how much money we have at all. It's completely insignificant to the spirit world. Let's see. Oh, Jenny B, I've had 2 readings with you, both wonderful. Highly recommend to anyone on the fence. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to say all the stuff. You can go to my website and book a reading. Any September readings, are 50% off if you use the coupon code uterus. Hey, Nick. Hi. If you use the coupon code uterus, it's kind of hard to see on there. It's kind of in a small gray box. You have to spell it right in all caps. I have gift cards. The holiday season's quickly approaching. It's already September. Gift cards you can buy for people. October 1st, I have a small group reading. You have to email me for that. peacefulnickthemedium@gmail.com. Small group reading for only $25. It's limited seating. I keep it down to 5 or 6 people. Hi. You found me. I have some former students from a school I used to work at have found me on TikTok. I love it. My intermediate class, if you've already had a little bit of mediumship training and you're looking to come to a second class, and you're not going to go back to the last class because it's been a long time or whatever, that starts in November. You can get that on my website. My beginner's class, my next one starts in January. All of that's on my website. Or you can email me through there or go to my link tree in my bio. So, readings can really, really help people start healing. Because what it does is it proves to my clients, or sitters as we call them, that life goes on beyond this world. And we worry so much about our loved ones who pass. I mean, my mom died when I was 15. She just literally dropped dead at my feet one day out of the clear blue sky. She was only 40 years old. And so to know that her spirit is still around is very comforting to me. And actually, I have felt like she has been around me and supported me and comforted me for all these years. 37 years, I think it's been. A long time. 36, something like that. So, releasing inner hippie. Oh, I like that. My son's father died in January. And the boys had to make the decision to pull life support. Yes, that's very difficult to deal with because you feel guilty, but you shouldn't feel guilty. Because anybody who's on life support, I would guess they don't want to live that way, especially if their brain function is not there. Tony Nelson, can you see people's spirit guides? Well, when I got trained as a medium, I was trained to not contact other people's spirit guides. It's unethical and it's an invasion of your spiritual privacy. Some people do that. I think that you should all be able to find your own spirit guides. Now, what I do when I teach classes is I have my spirit guide. My spirit guide's name is George. If I need to try to assist my student spiritually with their progress in mediumship, I'll ask my spirit guide to contact their spirit guide and say, help them with this. They need some development on this one thing. And then that's how I do it. I don't ever directly contact someone else's spirit guide. But I can teach people how to find their spirit guide. It's actually not that hard. You can just close your eyes and ask for your spirit guide to show up. And that's how I found my spirit guide. My teacher said, close your eyes. Ask your spirit guide to step in. And boom, he was there and he's never left. His name's George. I can see him as clear as day. I could draw a picture of him. All right. I'm losing my throat. Anything you need on my website, my small group readings, peacefulnickthemedium@gmail.com. I hope to be going live again Friday night. I hope to be more consistent now that my surgery's over, and spirit willing, I will be back doing this all the time like I was before my surgery. Thank you all very much for joining me. Have a wonderful evening. Happy Monday. Be well, and thank you. Mwah. Any questions, you can email me. Bye. Thank you guys.